we're here cracking our third box of the Dynasty case. This is Cass, and with me,
your co-host, all at the point. We already cracked a nice little Marvel. You guys should definitely check that video to see what we got there. Pretty got excited. Really
that
got
was
excited.
quite the pull.
We're currently still searching for our Mechazoid cards. Let me get that for you. There we go. We're still searching for Mechazoid because, God, we love Dash. Just the feeling of getting so much plus, having the choice of going defensive and aggressive. It's everything a control player really enjoys. Now we're going to start with our first pack and see what we get here.
Okay, Puncture, Spectral Prowler, Runic Reaping, Prognosticate, Urgent Delivery.
Urgent Delivery blue, amazing for pitching. Never enough blue as a Dash player.
Shifty. And here we go. Start the pack with the first foil rare. Precision.
Foil and rare. Is it the signal that we'll get our Iron Song Pride?
Flex.
Mixed reviews on Iron Song Pride from what I'm seeing right now. I honestly think it's an amazing card. My take on it, if you're playing it in Blitz, you play it inside of Kasai. There's not a world where Kasai, you don't hit one of your two sabers. People will let it take. Why would they block a card? Why would they block both? They won't have a turn. And you're very awkward numbers all the time in your swings.
Right. Illusionist and a Spellfray Tiara. Go. Predatory Strike, Madcap, Failing Swing, Hemorrhage Bore.
So we're both Dorinthia players here. How do you feel about the new axe builds that we can go?
Definitely something that I would look into. It's a different play style from what we're used to, right?
Yeah, and there's also the Majestic axe from, if I recall, it came out in Monarch. It gives your axes dominate and +2 for the turn. And with that, 2 axes and all the new buffs, go again, big axe. People might not expect the pure raw damage that you have. Crouching Tiger, not foil this time. Would have been nice.
Why do you think the other axe was not as popular among the Dorinthia players?
The current axe does not have any additional on-hit pressure. It's basically the Centauri swords, but they're axes. The only advantage where you would run that over was because you have the dominate ability. And then Everfest came out and they have so much support for swords, not axe. And now we're Dynasty, the second supplementary set, and we're getting the axes support.
Such as the Felling Swing.
Felling Swing, pay 3 for +6. Would not be, I don't really feel like dropping 2 more cards for one of the attacks. Yes, it does cost you 2 extra cards to swing. And there it is. The
second Majestic Blazon Yoroi.
Yoroi. Looks to be the chest plate for ninjas. From what I'm seeing, this is a situational against wide decks where you could have this block for 5.
Yeah, I think it's very good against Lava Burst if you ever put this in front.
Very situational if you're playing against, let's say, Briar or any ninja. Even you can even play into Lexi if your opponent's playing a go wide deck. Definitely a very good alternative to the very contested Flamescale Furnace right now. Yes, Flamescale Furnace blocks for 3 and 1 after. But the issue is that most people will try to have it so that they can play it in Dromai. And in Phi, it's just essentially a 3 life without actually having anything more. This one not being an actual plus for 5, but still decent because it blocks 5 instead of 3 in total.
That's right.
Really love the Dynasty following with Uprising with the Asian art style. There's all these things that are not related, but then when you hit everything that's related to Emperor, ninjas, illusionist. You see the lanterns, and you're thinking, "Oh, we are in Asia." Definitely a nod to them TCG players that enjoy more of a Japanese art.
Beaten Tracker, the new boots.
A very good alternative from our perspective. Currently with the scap skins, you roll a dice. If you roll a 1, you cry and you lost your turn. Well, now you have Beaten Trackers, a very good alternative. Very budget friendly for all the new beginner players. And it has a very useful effect. Whenever you discard a random card with 6 or more power, you get an initial action point.
Oh, I opened the Tiara. Not Marvel, but Rainbow Foil. Very nice.
Rainbow Foil Tiara. Runeblade players rejoice. This is a very important side card in your matchups. How would you feel if you're playing against your usual opponent, the Runeblade player? How would you feel once you see them equip this card now?
If I was to deal arcane damage to them on my hand, I would definitely not be happy to see them reveal this at the beginning of the game.
Me, I'm currently playing Icelander and Blitz. If I see them have this right now, I'd be slightly less happy. Having 3 Spell Voids is pretty scary. And I think it's a very good answer. As of the World Championships, Icelander won it. So I think giving a little nudge back to Runeblades so that they have an answer, let's say Viscera, the weakest of all 3.
I opened the Arachne.
We have the old version now, so we can definitely build a deck.
The adult version for CC.
Wait, it comes in Majestic only?
Yes, it does. You got the young version, but
Now we got the old version.
you're gonna have to wait to open this one as well. Another Majestic Brute
Majestic
action.
in the
Savage. 2 Majestic in the same pack. Wow. Savage Beatdown. Play only if you've discarded a card with 6 or more this turn, and you also discard a card at random when you play it. And if you discarded a card that's 6 or more power, Savage Beatdown gets +6. 3 for 12.
Essentially KO's effect without needing to roll a dice. How many times have I seen KO players cry when they roll a 1, 2, 3, or 4 and only comes in for half the damage? Here, 3. How many cards did you spend on that? 3 cards to do your turn? Here's 1 card to defend it. Very sad moments indeed.
Very hilarious if you're on the other side as well.
But on the flip side, when he rolls you a 6 and says, here, 17, you look at him, my hand guards for 10. Am I dead? Well, maybe. If he gets a bad turn and rolls a 2, you should be fine. But if he rolls you another 6, this is where you cry.
Right. I think we're just about halfway through the box. So far, so good.
So good.
Still looking for the Nitro Megazord.
We haven't cracked the legendary in the box. Would be very nice
Shield.
to get one. Would wrap up our story getting Marvel, a cold foil, and if we get a legendary, 3 and 1 in the pack. All we'll be missing would be to have a Fable. But that's hoping
Majestic
for
Ranger
luck.
action, Immobilizing Shot. If Immobilizing Shot has an aim counter on it and it hits a hero, they cannot play more than 1 attack action card and 1 non-attack action card during their next action phase. Really good against Runeblade or any other heroes that want to play more than 1 attack action card per turn, right?
It indeed stops opponents that would... Definitely Runeblades are the main hit for this, but all of decks have a potential to play more than 1 card. Thinking of this as Aaliyah as well, as a ranger, you always start with 1 ranger action, then you start with your arrow. You want to pump your arrow first and do a big turn. Looking at Mechanologist, potentially it could stop them. It won't permit them to play their attack turn and play an item, and it will not permit them to have their nice... What was that card already? To pay 1 resource and you get to, when you boost, you get an initial action point. Comment in the section below. I actually don't remember the card.
Right. Next up, Puncture. Long shot
Hyperdriver
blue
blue.
hyperdriver. Nice. I was needing this. Sack the shifty. Rare shred red.
Shred red. Effectively 0 for 4. They won't see it coming. You'll shred them apart, you could say.
Do you feel like the new assassin class is very poised to take on the guardian classes with all of these -4s?
I think Flesh and Blood, LSS definitely designed it with the big element of RPGs and actually fighting games. I don't think in a MMORPG, an assassin which is supposed to be sneaky would be taking down a full armored plated guardian. Doesn't make sense stylistic wise.
Flavor wise?
Flavor wise, definitely I don't think it makes sense, but from the card I see it right now, it's definitely more of a mind game. It's more the player instead of their gear. It's not because you're a guardian you're good, but it's because you're not expecting it and you played incorrectly. You got baited into leaving yourself wide open, and then you take the punishing moves.
Hyenos Sutcliffe rare foil.
You got the foil Runeblade weapon. As of right now, it seems LSS is ready to have another Runeblade. Instead of playing an attack and a non-attack, they're pitching them. So I'm thinking maybe we're gonna have a new chess piece, because as of right now, Viscera is looking pretty weak in the classic constructed, and we're expecting to have a new chain. So potentially we're gonna have a new illusionist shadow that could take advantage of this.
Ooh, majestic ninja card, roaring of the tiger.
You create crouching tiger tokens and they get +1.
Wow.
So this is one of the key cards you want to hit. If you see your crouching tiger making cards, let's say you make 3 of them, but they all swing for 0, why are you even playing it? Keep it in the arsenal, and once you have your setup, boom, 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 the crouching tiger comes out and you get your draw. Your opponent will not be ready.
Giving them +1 is definitely, if you have more than one, they turn into Phoenix Flames.
They turn effectively into Phoenix Flames.
Alright, another shred.
Red yellow. We're getting close to the entire playset. Definitely nice to see. And it blocks for 3. Much better than, let's say, Razor Reflex, which only blocks for 2 and costs a 0 restore. LSS is telling us definitely to play Wizard. We got another Searing Stone.
Pulse Wave Harpoon. When this attacks a hero, they reveal X card from the hand, where X is the number of times you've boosted, and choose an action card with less shield less than or equal to X, then add it to this chain link as a defending card, so forcing them to block with a card when you attack with this.
Essentially, if your opponent decides to keep their entire hand, you get to punish them. I'm swinging you for 3. Let's say you boosted twice before this. This is your third boost. You get to see your opponent hand and know, oh, they were not blocking because they have a nasty turn. Let me take out your key card here. Nah. Are you still sure you don't want to block this now?
True.
Because their little pistol is still coming in after.
Shifty.
Not Spire.
Not Spire. Shred, another one.
Foil this time. Pretty nice, pretty nice.
Rare and the Shield Bash. Wow, opened a lot of Guardian rares as well.
Is this a signal that the LSS is telling us we have to build Wizard and Guardian? We got the seasoned Savior and a lot of other Guardians in this box. For now, it seems that building a Guardian was not a bad spot. Oldhim is not yet out in Classic, and Blitzy might just be pushed out soon, but that is fine. Bravo is there, and we also got Yoji, the new protector. Foil Hyperdriver. Foil out them Hyperdrivers, baby.
Blessing of the Focus.
We have what, roughly 3-4 packs left?
Roughly 4 packs left. Come on. Let's go.
We haven't hit the legendary yet, but it's still possible if we believe hard enough. Stories will be told.
Oh, I got the young Arachne as well, so now I can play both of them.
We have both indeed.
Foil.
Blessing red, a very good card, and another wizard to wrap up the pack.
Ether Quickening.
For me, Ether Quickening is essentially a strictly better Scalding Rain. There's not a world where you would not play this over Scalding Rain. If you have the spot, then maybe you run both. A 1 for 4 arcane damage is pretty good, and the additional on-hit effect is definitely a big punisher. Do you not want to keep the Mechanologist with the
Oh
Mechanologist?
yes, I forgot about this one.
We're still hoping for Mexoid.
We are still hoping for Mechazoid. We have 3 packs left.
And we have one last box after this, and we still have not hit the big Mechazoid.
Right. Stand, Predatory Strike, Urgent Delivery.
Very good alternative cost now into Dash. Too many cards that cost resources in hand. Now you have one that costs 0. 0-4. Very good.
Flexing Claw and Anal of Sutcliffe non-foil.
You already got one foil in the same box. Seems like this is a Runeblade Guardian box.
Hyperdrive
Yellow. We got a Ponder token.
Ponder token.
If only it would let us see the top 3 of our deck.
Cold foil Arnet of Tessent.
We got another cold foil in this box. And this is a pretty nice. Keeps up with the appearance of an Emperor that doesn't have a weapon that actually does anything. It's an offhand weapon that literally does not attack or block. It has a interesting effect. But why hold a fan when you can hold a blade?
One-time effect. Destroy and put a card from your hand on the bottom of your deck. If you do, you can draw a card.
Pretty sure this fan did nothing when Arachne came for him.
Swell Tidings. Deal 5 arcane damage to a hero. And Surge, if it deals 5 or more damage, create a Ponder token.
You get to ponder and think of what your next plan is. Because at the beginning of your end phase, you destroy it and you draw a card. The card that you draw, you can maybe put it in the arsenal. If it's not a card you in the arsenal, keep it in hand.
Or
Jumpstart red.
final pack. Rob the Rich.
Rob the Rich foil. It's a rare. Replaces a rare instead of common. Pouncing Chi foil.
And a rare Mechanologist card. So this wraps up our 3rd box.
So far, we're pretty sad we didn't hit the Mexoid, as we like to call it. You guys definitely wait and go see our 4th and see if we can hit our Gundam.